Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a Sony two-line telephone, and this is the initial checkout and basically repair of this telephone. And I've somewhat went through this telephone and troubleshooted it, and Aaron sent this telephone in, but he didn't send any handset cord with it. And his complaint was he couldn't hear anything out of the receiver. And so basically what it came down to, and I want to give you kind of a look at everything here. We have a shop handset cord right here that we're using with the telephone, and we have the handset open, and basically it has transmit but no receive. And he said something to the effect that he could hear, or the volume was very low, and then he may have said it finally just gave out. But he didn't send the handset cord in with it, and when I checked the telephone out, I didn't get any receive at all. And so basically we're going to set this kind of to the side here, and I want to show you a couple of parts here. We have another receiver capsule, and that we're going to be installing in the handset. And here's a transistor that we checked that is an audio transistor to drive the receiver capsule. And basically what would happen is, and I want to give you a look at the inside of a two-line phone here. This is a Sony two-line. And if you notice here on this modular port, there's only two wires going to it, so that would be line 2. And then this one has 4 going to it, so that would be line 1 and 2. And that's why we're plugged into that one. So down in this area here on the main PC board, we have a transistor, and that's already been replaced. I'm going to kind of give you a look at the back of this board and give you some kind of an idea of what it looks like. And so when I was going through the troubleshooting process, what I found with the transistor was that it would check good, and then it would check bad if you put a load on it. And so we just went ahead, so there was no question. You know, it could have been anything that caused this transistor to go out in the receiver capsule. It could have been a surge. You know, there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, it could have been anything. They could have went out at the same time, or one took the other one out, and it might have surged the receiver capsule. But since the transistor wasn't checking properly and it would fail under a load, we just are going to go ahead and replace it. That's the best thing to do. And so, you know, sometimes it's not a cut and dry thing. You have to troubleshoot the circuitry too, and go through everything and make sure that it's working properly. And that's exactly what we've done here. And I'll give you one more peek here at the back of the board and kind of show it to you. That's what the back of the circuit board looks like. And we were working down in this audio area for the receive. So anyway, now what we have left to do, and I thought we'd just square this up with one video and get the repair taken care of. Now we need to replace the receiver, because it's bad too. Now that we've got the board repaired, we need to go in and replace this receiver. So I've kind of already started on that, and I want to get some tools here and get rid of this weight and get it out of our way. We're going to set that to the side. And this is Aaron's telephone from West Virginia. So now what we want to do is we want to replace this receiver capsule. So I'm just going to go ahead and start doing that. Sometimes these can be a little pesky. I think what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm just going to cut them we have enough room. We want to make sure that we mark our bad one. I just want to put an X on it, a couple X's. That way I know that's bad. And we want to get our new one here in place. And I'm just going to go ahead and bare our wires again. And I'm going to go ahead and get some solder on these wires real quick. I want to also tin my new receiver. And then it's just a simple thing as making our connections. Sometimes you wish you had a lot more hands, but that's the way it goes, so you got to do with what you have. Now we want to get this back in place. We have a little rubber gasket that we want to make sure that's in there. That does do a couple things. It helps the sound quality, the acoustics, and it also gives the receiver capsule a little bit of a cushion if it gets, if it drops or falls down. Want to get our lines run back in here again the way they should be. Try to get them stationary. They can be a little pesky. Sometimes they don't want to ride back exactly where they were at. We'll get them pushed down in. And once we got that, you want to put it back together again and snap it together. Now I don't want to go too far here because I want to make sure, plus I still have to get my bracket in. So I want to just do a little test. Make sure everything's gonna fly here. And give you some dial tone. And we're going to take this back apart again. We want to get this receiver cover back off. And now we can lay our bracket back down in. Get that secured. And so now that's going to stabilize our receiver, and it's not going to rattle around. So I want to test it here a little bit, make sure it's all good. Make sure that's nice and tight. Okay, we've got a screw that we need to put back into the handset. We might as well just go ahead and do that now. Make sure that's proper. I'm not going to, you want to make sure you get all these switches. Okay, there's no other switches that go into the, some units will have a switch that actually moves back and forth like a little knob, and then you hit the, it's the switch slides into it. But in this case, this is just a regular bare switch here, and you can access that switch directly, so we don't have to worry about that problem. And now what I want to do is I want to start sliding everything back in where it goes. And we're going to get this unit put back together again. I'll get a couple screws back into it that came out of it. That holds the PC board in. Get that taken care of real quick. And I also went and resoldered a lot of that area in the audio section, just in case there was any bad connections that was causing our parts to go bad, or the original parts to go bad. And we've got one more right here. So that should take care of all of our mounting screws. I'm going to go ahead and slide the unit back together again. And it's a nice little Sony 2-line telephone, you know, and Aaron likes this telephone, and there's no reason why something like this shouldn't be repaired. You know, a lot of this stuff ends up in trash cans because people either don't know anybody that will repair it, or they get some bad information. We don't work on that, or, you know, that's not repairable. So, you know, if you like the telephone, you might as well have it repaired, because most of the time when you go try to find this stuff again, or find one you like, you can't find what you want. So, you know, I've got a lot of customers. AT&T, if you talk to the right people in AT&T, they'll send you to me, and you know, that's like with a lot of these other companies. We want to make sure our buttons are working, so I'm going to flip through them real quick. I'm going to go ahead and connect up the handset here. Get rid of this little piece of solder. And then what we want to do is we want to plug into our line 1 and 2. And I want to see what our switches are on. Here's one our ringer on. There we go. Got multiple phones ringing here, but you can see this one's ringing right here, so I'm going to let it ring a couple more times because the other one will go away. There we go. Now I'll let it go one more time. Access the line. Give it some dial tone. And though the numbers were not the issue, I'm going to go ahead and flip through the numbers and check all that out. End in a 2. I'm going to go ahead and hang up, and then I'm going to hit redial. And on the analyzer, you'll notice it'll stop at the 2. Or maybe it was the 1. Let's do that again. I'm going to end in a 2. And then let's hit flash and redial. And it ended in a 2. Just to make sure, we'll do that one more time. End in a 2. Hang up. Dial tone. Redial. ended in a 2. Okay, this is what I want to do here. Dial tone, then I want to hit the hold button. So we know that works because that went red here. And then if I access this line 1 again, take it off hold, you got dial tone again. Now what we want to do is I want to go over to line 2, and I want to access line 2. And there you go. Line 2 lit up. Let it ring one more time. I like to go at least 3 rings. Dial tone. Let's see what happens when we hit redial. Okay, it's going to do what it did on line 1, so that's good. But only we're on line 2 now. I want to talk and transmit into the handset. Every time you see this red indicator light on the analyzer, that's 100% modulation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. Dial tone. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move over the line to a regular telephone line, give you some dial tone. Hang up. Dial tone. The dial will say a time and temp number.
Good afternoon. Our body shop can repair almost any make and model for less. Offenburg, Belleville, 234-0330. Today is Wednesday, September 7th. The time is 1:15. Current temperature 80 degrees. Now the weather forecast for the Belleville area.
Sunny today, highs in the 70s, mostly clear tonight, lows around 50, partly cloudy Thursday, a chance of showers, highs in the 70s.
So we know the telephone's working. Let's do that in line 1. Switch it over to line 1. We'll access line 1. Dial tone. We'll dial the number again. And we'll do time and temp again.
Good afternoon. Ford, drive 1 and you'll know at Offenburg Ford at Belleville and O'Fallon. Today is Wednesday, September 7th.
Throw it on hold. Bring it back.
80 degrees. Now the weather forecast.
Hold. Bring it back.
Mostly clear tonight, lows around 50, partly cloudy Thursday, a chance of showers, highs in the 70s.
So now that the telephone is repaired, Aaron is probably going to be pretty happy to get it back because I do believe he likes this telephone a lot. And he didn't want to give it up, and he didn't do the usual like throw it away. He found somebody that was able to repair it. And although it wasn't just a receiver capsule, with a little troubleshooting, we were able to find the bad transistor that went along with the receiver capsule and transistor here. So now that those parts have been replaced, he's back in business. And I'll go ahead and ring line 1 one time more. Let that go about 2 times. I'll let it go one more time. Dial tone. I'm going to access a 2, and I'm going to talk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. So we know that this telephone is repaired, and it's a really cool little Sony 2-line telephone. And usually these things are real large, and this is a nice little one. It fits in a nice little area. So it's a very cool telephone. It's a nice telephone, so there was no reason not to repair it. And this is Aaron's telephone from West Virginia, 2-line Sony telephone. IT-M10 is the model number on it. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.